Hey guys, Medieval Marty here with another video. So I just wanted to take some time to talk about Torghast. The Torghast situation, as I'm calling it. Firstly, like most people, I'm loving Shadowlands. The story, the dungeons, the raid, PvP, everything in my eyes is incredible right now, and I can't stop playing it. The expansion is a hit in my books. However, there are a couple of things that are letting the expansion down, and like most people, I'm choosing to just pretend they don't exist right now. Mostly the more, but a little bit is Torghast. I'm really struggling to enjoy this part of the game right now, and it does just feel like a chore. So if you just spend a couple of hours in Torghast just doing your weekly progression there, you're going to see people in the general chat arguing over it. I've spent a lot of time just watching people discuss, and I just wanted to make a video on my thoughts with what I think of the current Torghast situation, how I would change things, and what I think the main issues are. So for my background, I've played WoW casually for 10 years, but I always play a ton of roguelike games. So Binding of Isaac, Hades, Spelunky, Slay the Spire, all those things I am addicted to. I love those games. And Torghast is one of the most anticipated features I was expecting to play the hell out of in Shadowlands. I thought, watching the beta, that I would be so addicted to Torghast, and I thought I'd be in there all day. That's not the case. So in my opinion, Torghast really does have an identity crisis. I want to come at this from two perspectives. So long-time WoW players, and then people that actually like these kinds of games, these random generated dungeons that get crazier and different every time you go in them. So the beta did have the Endless Halls mode, which showed Torghast as a place you can spend hours of time just going crazy, having fun, and really just pushing your character to its limits to find these crazy combos. But what we have just feels like it's been neutered, and it just feels like a chore. It just feels like, I don't know, we're getting to see a glimpse of it, and it's just not enjoyable in my opinion right now. So firstly, I just want to go over why it doesn't feel like a normal roguelike game, and why a lot of people who are into that, like a lot of my friends are addicted to those sort of games, and we just can't get into it. And we spoke about this a little bit. So the one key feature that I would say is missing is, as you progress, if you take something like Binding of Isaac or Hades, as you progress in these games, you would go into a level, you might spend an hour in the level, and then you die to, let's say there's 5 bosses, you would die to the 3rd boss. You would come out of the dungeon and you would purchase upgrades. You would make things that make your next run better. So you would increase your abilities and you'd increase your strength, and you would feel like you gained something from that long run of the dungeon. You'd go back in there, and maybe you'd die to the 3rd boss again, but you'd get a little bit stronger. And then you'd be encouraged to go back in straight away and just keep going. And then eventually you'll beat it, and you'll get that, that hit of adrenaline, and you'll keep going. And that's how these games grip you, and you play them all day. However, here, you can play this game for an hour. Let's say you're doing the highest level layer, and you get to the final boss, and he kills you, and you've been in there for, I don't know, an hour and a half, however long it takes you, and you leave with nothing, and you've wasted that time, and you could go in and do it again, and that's it. There's no, most people, myself included, would just leave the game. I'd turn the game off at that point and go, yep, no, I'm done. There's no reason that I want to do that again. So the only thing I can see like that in this game is the Stygia rewards that they have in the Maw. Which I know some people haven't even seen. So the Maw vendor, you can buy certain upgrades. So you can buy upgrades like your first death doesn't count, or you can find more rare abilities, things like that. But they're so minimal. It's literally like reputation based with Venari, and it's literally a couple of skills. And people are even missing it because it's so unimportant and disconnected to Torghast. I really don't see why they've done it like that, and it doesn't feel like any progression. So that was the situation last week, and then now after the meeting after the speech that Ian gave, and then the big nerf that came out, it really isn't feeling like a roguelike game. So I spoke to a few friends and I've seen a few comments on the forums of people who have never played that sort of game. They're just WoW players through and through. They like dungeons, raids, and they like the systems in WoW as they are. Now, I asked these guys what were their biggest problems with Torghast right now, and it was generally the same things. Firstly, they hated wasting time. Now, if you're not into roguelike and you go into this game and you spend an hour and you die and you get nothing, and you're only in there because you need the soul ash, I can imagine that would feel awful if you're not enjoying it and you don't feel, if you get to 5 floors up out of 6, or you get to the final boss and you die, that would feel, it would feel awful. I totally get that. And someone explained this to me, because at the start I was saying, oh, well, why would you not like this? And they said, imagine if you were a hardcore raider and you wanted to get your legendaries to compete, and they said you have to do pet battles consistently all day to get them. Now, I totally get that. Thinking like that, why is the system that is so decisive and that they're getting the feedback that people aren't enjoying it, why is this so required to get your legendaries? Why can't Soul Ash drop at the end of Mythic Plus? Push high Mythic Plus keys and get Soul Ash. Kill a raid boss, get a bits of Soul Ash. Give people, if they hate this system, and you don't want to work on it and improve it, give them another way to get it. And now I was kind of defending Torghast for a while until this week when they nerfed Torghast. I can't understand. I get why you made it easier for certain classes, because obviously protection classes are walking in there, dominating, and then some classes are struggling on the first floor. So I get why you made certain balance changes, but just generally nerfing the entire place, all that's doing is bringing Torghast closer to being another world quest, a weekly quest that you have to go in and do, a chore, another WoW chore that we had in BFA. Another Warfront, right? That's what it feels like. Whereas what I would have liked is you make it harder. You make it more difficult, more challenging. Make floor 8 as hard as a mythic dungeon. Make floor 8 as hard as a mythic raid. Make it so that you have to play Torghast non-stop and get better and challenge yourself and improve and upgrade to do that top floor. And then you will get the best legendaries. But also give people another way to get the Soul Ash if they don't want to do it. And I'm really worried that this decision has just shown that they're heading in the chore route. And I'm worried that we're not going to see the potential that Torghast could reach. Again, guys, I don't want this to come off as negative. I'm loving Shadowlands. I had so much potential for Torghast. I had so many things I wanted to try. I wanted to make one of every character and just spend the whole time playing in Torghast and, trying all the new combos and skills, but it's dry, it's boring, and now it's easy. It is just dreadful. And I'm really hoping that they can turn it around. I hope they get the feedback they need to make the changes to make this fun. But yeah, I'd love to know what other people think. Like in the comments, let me know what you think. If you're liking Torghast, if you're disliking it, what you think its issues are, what changes you would make. Because I think people need to talk about it. I think they don't know what to do with it. I think they feel a bit lost. And yeah, let's see where it goes. It's still very early. It's the first, it's early days. It's season 1. Yeah, let's see how it goes. But thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Sorry if this seemed like a big long rant, but I just wanted to get words out there, get my opinion out there, start the discussion. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you like the video, subscribing helps a lot. I'm a very new channel. I also stream on Twitch. Links will be down below. But anyway, thank you so much for taking the time. Appreciate it. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.